Okay, so in this reading, I'm going to look at the members of BTS. I think there's been a lot of like odd things at least happening at HYBE. I think the members are due for a comeback soon, right? They're coming back in 2026 at the very least. I feel like there's whispers that are weird things happening, but I haven't really been keeping up. The only thing I know is the rumors between Winter and Jungkook, and that's about it. I would be honest, I would keep that much up with BTS, to be fair. I became a fan of K-pop around the time that they were going on a hiatus. In this video, we're going to look at the members individually, and then we're also going to look at just the general vibe of the group, any plans for their comeback, etc., etc. With that being said, everything I say is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only, and with peace and love. And let's go. Okay, so I'm going to pull individual cards for each member, and then we're just going to see what, like, the general, how they're feeling generally. This is going to be Jungkook. This is going to be Taehyung. This is going to be Jimin. This is going to be Suga. This is going to be RM. Rap Monster. This is going to be Jin. And then Jhope. My bad, homie. You're just going to sit on top of everybody. Alright. So this was Jungkook, right? Which is Page of Pentacles in the reverse position has to do with like money. It can also be sometimes physical things, which include things like health, for example. But if you look, it's like a young person. Oh, wait. I want more information before I talk. But at present, it seems like he's not getting something that he needs or wants. The Hanged Man in the reverse position is a need for a new perspective. Oh, okay. Uh-oh. This is like, that card can go two ways. Sometimes it's the alleviation of anxiety and depression, but sometimes it's sort of like the reinforcement of it. And this is like no longer doing anything shady. Oh, that's interesting. For some reason, I don't know the lore, so I feel like you will probably tell me in the comments, but it seems like Jungkook is getting more confidence. And oddly enough, and I don't say this in a negative way, but it seems almost like he is more willing to like push people around. Not his members, it doesn't seem like that, but like people in the company, for example. So it's sort of like if he asks for something and he really legitimately thinks he needs it and they say no, he's gonna keep pushing. He's like, no, but I need this. Like, why am I not gonna get this? And it doesn't seem like too big demands. It seems like essential things, like if he wanted a time off or if he needed an accommodation for like a schedule or something like that. It seems like before he would like let things slide and try to be easygoing, but it seems like now he like demands stuff and he's like, no, like I think he is tired of the word that came to mind was like he's tired of the corruption that's going on, but that can mean lots of different things. Like if there are shady people, if maybe the company lies to the members, it could be any number of things, but it's almost like he feels a level of confidence now. It seems something's weird about money as well, or like payment. This seems kind of related to payment or having to do with money. It also could be time as well, but he seems like, because in my mind's eye, I see him like a bull and I see him like pushing people. You know, like when they do like bull races and the bull will like push people out of the way? That seems like Jungkook right now. And the reading I did between him and Winter, it seemed like he was kind of like chaotic and unstable. That energy is different now. It feels more directed, but still kind of chaotic. It feels like he is just like tired. Like if in this era, let's say you meet Jungkook and you lie to him and he knows you lied, it like makes him so mad in a way I don't think it used to. Like he just cannot stand like inefficiency and like lies. Like he needs like things like locked in. He's frustrated deeply about something with the group or with the way the group, specifically I think the way the group is managed, but it also could be the way the company's running. He's pissed. Should we ask any more? I don't know if there's going to be more. Sometimes you pull too much and it's just like garbage. Unhappiness and judgment, awakening. That makes sense. Something's going to be revealed soon. This could be pertaining to Jungkook specifically, but it feels related. It feels work related, I should say. And it feels like something unfavorable is going to be revealed. And at present, he is none the wiser. When he realizes this, it's going to change a lot about he sees things and maybe also how he relates to the group. It seems like this is going to come up in the next couple of months. Like I think maybe 3 months or less, because it feels like a tidal wave or a tsunami and it sort of like crashes on him and he's like, wait a minute. Like it seems like a really big discovery for some reason, and it's going to illuminate a lot of things that are currently in the dark. This could be public. We could know about it. I can't tell. It could be personal to him, but it feels strongly work related. The only reason I say that is because like when I think about this, I keep seeing purple and they're like colors purple, whatever. Well, thank you, Jungkook. Okay, I said this was Taehyung. Taehyung is the emperor in the reverse position, which is feeling disempowered. Essentially, that's what it feels like. I can't tell if it's him or if it's someone around him or what, so we'll pull more. That's fighting, like wanting to fight, going in for a fight, feeling frustrated. Again, feeling frustrated. That seems very strong with both of them. Temperance, that's balance. This is so funny because like you look at this card and it's like fighting, and this is like all like, you know what I mean? Seems like he's fighting for somebody and himself. Working at something. He feels best when he's working. I think he likes to work. He likes to do more behind the scenes work. I don't know if that, because someone told me that he's someone that's very attention seeking in the group, but oddly enough, his energy always shows up very low key. Like he seems so low key. Like he prefers like making music. That's like the thing he likes the most. I think he likes being in the studio. I think he likes to experiment with sounds. It's not that he dislikes performing on stage, but he likes that more. I do think he likes it. Performing on stage, but it seems like that is a process he likes a lot. He likes to get like really like locked into his work, but he seems really frustrated about management again, because the emperor is like at the top. It's like people making decisions. It's like power and feeling disempowered, but specifically it's almost like that power is wielded ineffectually. There is something happening with the structure at HYBE. I mentioned this. It has to be like years ago at this point. Well, I don't know. I've only been doing this like a year on this channel. But I remember in the very early stages of my videos, I would say there's going to be something that's going to happen to the K-pop industry. And it seems like a year or two away. I don't know if this is what it is, because it feels really faint in their energy. It almost is like they're upset at the structure of HYBE or the way it's run or somebody. And someone said that the CEO got his like assets frozen or something. I don't know. BTS, it doesn't seem like it's going to affect the rollout schedule of BTS or anything like that, but the members feel angry. They feel frustrated, and I think they kind of feel lied to for one reason or another. But they're working currently on their comeback. I think specifically Taehyung is doing a lot of work with the comeback. He seems very focused on that. If not the comeback, his own music, because I see him working at music, so it doesn't necessarily have to be with the members. But he's not really like present. Like he's not gonna. Should we pull more cards? We were like, no. Heartbreak. Okay. The Fool, Naivety, that's like over control or under control, like the losing of control. Oh, again, that kind of mirrored Jungkook's, where it's like something is coming, but in this case, it doesn't have to mean that, but like, because heartbreak is sort of like a realization. Like if you got broken up with, it's like, oh, like this person that I thought I was going to be with. In this case, it doesn't feel romantic. It feels like a disappointment in some way. Could be work related, but it doesn't feel personal, I'll say. So at the very least, it's not personal, could be work related. The Fool is like starting on a new journey, but it's also like being naive and not seeing something coming because you just weren't prepared for it. You've never been in a situation like that. And this is a loss of control. It's also the loss of money. There's something about money with them, or time, or something physical that is going to happen with BTS. Like they're not getting paid what they owed or something, or like they are asked of something of themselves that's like really weird that you wouldn't usually ask of an employee. I'm not really sure. This also can just talk about instability in general. But it seems like in this case, Taehyung is going to take it well. Is he easygoing? Because his energy feels very easygoing. People are like, no. His energy reads really, really easygoing to me. Like, he just kind of takes things as they come to him. He's like, yeah, whatever. His energy legitimately always makes me giggle. I like how he comes across in the energy. Okay. Well, anyway, Knight. So this is Jimin, which is the Knight of Swords, which is not saying something. Sometimes it can be lying or saying dishonestly, but also sometimes it's just like not saying anything at all, or it coming out incorrectly. So you say something much more harshly than you intended to. It could be a lot of things, but it has to do with communication or thinking. The Queen of Pentacles, oh my god. Relax. Sorry. No. Okay, the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse position is a lack of nurturing. Money, again, Pentacles, but it can also, it can talk about like a baby, but don't focus on that. It can talk about the birth of something, I should say. So it could be creatively. So if he had a project he was working on and it's not going in his favor, for example, or something's not being nurtured. The World is a lack of completion. This seems creative for some reason. And these two cards are really similar because you think world and wheel, circles, but the World's a lack of completion and sometimes it's being stuck in the past. The Wheel of Fortune is like fortune not turning in your favor or being stuck in a cycle for some reason. He seems like he's experiencing a lot of bad luck or a lot of like blocks and like stops in something he wants to do. It seems really creatively based. It seems like it Well, okay, I can't tell. This is only a guess. I do believe it's a creative thing. I do believe it's a musical thing. Is J-Hope someone who was more involved in their music? I can't tell if that was him or if that was like... No. Wait, this is Jimin. If I've been saying J-Hope, I'm so sorry. This is Jimin. Girl, my bad. This is Jimin. I've been reading for Jimin, but saying J-Hope, my bad. Anyway, I'm not sure if Jimin is someone who classically has been very involved in BTS's work or not. I really don't know. But it seems like if something he's working on for himself, or it could be the group, but he keeps getting smacked in the face. And this doesn't just feel like random bad luck. It feels almost like, well, okay, I don't know if this is true, but it feels like he thinks somebody is sabotaging him or intentionally trying to slow him down. I can't tell if that is true or not, but that's how he feels. He feels like he's not being given enough attention on something, or someone is like trying to like mess up his vibe. He feels frustrated too. His frustration feels very different from the other two. Like Jungkook feels like mad, like angry, frustrated, like hot. Taehyung feels kind of like annoyed, like he rolls his eyes. Jimin feels really like ugh. Like, you know, when you like are trying to do something and it won't work out, that's how he feels. It's weird. I mean, that frustration could kind of make sense because like if you're trying to create something, and I think they're still literally like working on their music. I don't think they have something solidified. I think they're close. Or they also could be all working on their own separate music because all of them seem like they're creating something at the very least. The Devil in the reverse position is the releasing of something toxic. He's gotten a lot of major arcana and really important cards as well, which means like he's in the middle of something very important. I don't know what's going on in Jimin's life specifically, but it seems like, see another one, the Chariot. It seems like he's in the middle of a breakthrough. But again, this is stalls and delays. He feels frustrated. Whatever he's creating, the next thing he releases, I think especially if it's personal or if he has like a specific important role in BTS's comeback, it's going to be really cool. I think people will like it, or at the very least, it will show that he put a lot of effort into it, even if people don't like it. It could be really different, or it could be very complex, I feel. There's something about that. I don't know. So, like, I don't know, if they release an album, like, look at the credits and anything Jimin's related to, or if Jimin releases something, which I feel like might be a while from now, it's going to be something that is very interesting at the very least. It's not going to be, like, just like, meh. You might not like it, but, like, his work seems like it'll pay off, whatever he's doing. Well, good for you. Good for homeboy. Okay, I said this was our Suga. Sorry. Lock in. I said this was Suga. Okay, so Suga got the Four of Wands in the reverse position, which is like being unstable. Sometimes it's like unstable in home or in a unionship, like a partnership for some reason. It could also be like the separation or like a bad foundation of some sort. None of their cards are that positive right now. Respectfully. Two of Pentacles in the reverse position. That's like the ebbs and flows of life, trying to balance things. That can sometimes also be creation. The Magician is not having what you need to manifest or create. He's also not getting enough resources or attention. He's being sidelined for other members. I don't know if Suga is the most popular member. I really don't know how they rank, other than I know that Jungkook is one of the more popular members. But I don't know where Suga ranks, but it seems like he's being sidelined by whoever is in charge of managing all of the members. I think this is something he is very used to, though, I'll say. This is something he is like very like par for the course. Like, yeah, this is how it works. He's not surprised. This is like the breaking of a unionship or contract, though. And this is also kind of like two people, but the separation of them, which is really interesting. This is being out on your own, out in the cold, searching for help. Pentacles again. The Strength is being disempowered or letting something consume you rather than feeling like you have a strong agency over it. And the Death is a rebirth. There's something weird about Suga specifically. Does anyone know when BTS renews? Because I keep being drawn to like he is parting ways with something significant. It doesn't necessarily have to be the group. It could be the company. I'm not sure, but it seems like he's going to leave something significant. It doesn't necessarily have to be with his work, but all of this has felt very work focused. It could be in his private life, but it doesn't feel like the energy is guiding me towards that. But for some reason or another, it feels like not necessarily frustration, almost like he's over it. He's beyond frustration, and it's sort of like, this is just how things are, and like, I need to let go. I need to find a different solution. The person that I'm having this conflict with is not working out. But it doesn't feel like member. It feels like, again, like top down, like the way they're being managed. There's something weird about that. This is like changing though, and like it's nice because the Strength is sort of like the beast has won, so I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna let look this lion. I'm gonna let that lion eat me, and I'm gonna die and be reborn as something else. which is cool. I think Suga is one of the more, I don't mean this in the sense that he's a better artist, but I think he is one of the ones that is more of like an artist. You know what I mean? Like really creative people, and they have that kind of thing to them. That's Suga, for sure. I think he invokes a lot of emotion into what he's doing, and I think he has one of the more artist types of personalities. He seems really deeply emotional and connected into what he's doing, and I don't think he likes the bureaucracy of whatever HYBE is up to, but he's very used to it. Well, I like his energy. It's very like, I don't know how to explain it. Artsy. Just artsy. Okay, I said this was RM, which is a page of wands, which is young energy, fiery, passionate, trying to build something, trying to like look to the future. The moon is a secret, okay. This is working at something. The fruits of your labor, are they paying off? You've built something and now you're like, is this enough? Have we planted the right seeds? Are we watering it enough? This is harmony and unionship. He's a leader, that makes sense. I think he's trying to get his ducks in the row. I think this is something, you know, in some K-pop groups, and a leader is more like a title. RM literally is the leader, and he has always been the leader in that sense, where he actually legitimately, they kind of look to him to get everyone gathered. Like he, in my mind's eye, I see like a mother goose and like all the geese, and he's like trying to get them to like follow him and like, guys, like lock in, like we got to do this. He legitimately does behave a lot like a leader. I think they look to him as a leader as well. I think there's like a challenge as well, because he's like not the oldest or whatever. So I think it does work out though. Like he literally like has like a command of the members to a degree. I think there have historically been issues with that, but it seems like by and large, like he really does take command and try to like guide people, specifically interpersonally. That's what I'm being drawn to. Whatever. Anyway. Harmony. He's really trying to get all the members together so there's not infighting. I think there is something that's going to happen at HYBE. I can't tell how public it will be, or specifically pop cultural public. Because if you're someone who pays attention to maybe the numbers at HYBE, you'll see something weird, or like the stocks, or if there's a change in leadership and you pay attention to that, you'll tell. But I can't tell if it's going to be like big news, like everybody is talking about it. You know what I mean? RM is paying attention to that. I think he's very privy to that. I think he's someone who has a mind for that in a way maybe not all of the members do. And it seems like he is wanting all of the members to be really strongly and tight together. And this isn't even from a business standpoint. It's like the members genuinely operate as brothers. So it's not just like the band breaking up. It's like literally like they've been together for years and trained together and been through so many hardships. So he doesn't want the members to fragment and to like be in hardship. So he is locked in on the success of the group, but he also is like really caring about the relationships and the relational dynamics in the group. He carries a lot of responsibility, for sure. I think he kind of seems like he's someone who's a little stressed out, and that makes sense. I think this is a personality trait. I think that makes sense why he became leader as well, or was chosen, because this seems like how he is fundamentally. But he's very concerned about the relationships of the members. He is not really focused on himself. I think he struggles with that sometimes. I think he's gotten better at balance, but his energy seems super outwardly directed at the people around him. And it's like, guys, like, are we talking? Are there fights? It seems like he's trying to build a shelter, because it seems like something's going to fall apart at HYBE, and he doesn't want the members to get like hurt. Very sweet. I don't know. His energy feels cold, but not mean, if that makes sense. Like, he's very business. I find it attractive, low-key. Anyway. This is... no, lock in. Okay. 8 of Cups in the reverse position. This is like needing to leave something emotionally, but not. And this is taking leadership position. Again, that's exactly what I was talking about. Where it's like you need to... But this seems more like it's not time yet, rather than you're not doing it. But this is walking away from something emotional, which could be something to do with HYBE, I don't know. But every single, like, I really feel that strongly, that something is going on with the leadership, because I keep being drawn to structures around them, or leadership around them. And this is like taking control, taking lead. Cool. Well, thank you, RM. He's really like trying to manage everyone. That's nice. Vibe. Big Poppy. Okay, this I said was Jen. Jen is like, this is like... This has been so long. Jen is like decisions, the moon, the water. That's like being presented with a decision and kind of going into it with not all of the information. Justice is a lack of justice, a lack of fairness, or like somebody kind of lying or hurting you in some way and not making it up. The Hermit in the reverse position is coming out of the fog into a stronger realization. Oh, he's going to realize something soon. An injustice that he experienced. labor and burden, it seems like it has to do with work. It also could be tedious and burdensome, but it seems like whatever it was, it related to something he did that, like, I don't know, they didn't pay him enough or they overworked him in some way. There's something about that, but this seems like a past issue that he just did not realize. It'd be like if you're piecing together like something someone told you like years ago and you're like, wait a minute, that was a lie. That's kind of, he's going to come to a realization about that soon, that he was like mistreated without like realizing it. Like people were like, no, this is normal. And he's like, wait a minute, what? Knight of Cups in the reverse position is like emotional loss, but it's next to burden. And then, oh, this set him back significantly. Okay, this seems really vague. I don't know, maybe people will know what I'm talking about, but I'm not sure if this is public or not. This seems like this happened a while ago, like years maybe, but it seems like he was mistreated in some way, or there was a significant injustice. It seems work related, and it seems specific to Jin, not just all of the members, but specific to Jin. And it feels almost like he worked really hard and didn't get what he needed, or like he was promised something and it didn't deliver despite him preparing for it. So I don't know, like maybe he was promised like a role in a movie maybe, or like a solo, and that never came to fruition. There's something about that, but it was sort of like plans falling through, and like this was emotionally hurtful to him, and I think it like damaged his confidence or maybe his future success or something, because I feel like Jin is not like the most, I don't know, so correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like he's not the most popular member. I don't think he's unpopular either, but there's something about that. It like affects him slightly emotionally. But this card is interesting though, because this is like decisions. Oh, no. This is realization. Okay, we're locked in. This is contemplation, especially emotionally. Jin, I think, is actually questioning a lot of his life direction currently. I feel like Jin is the oldest, if I remember correctly. This isn't necessarily having to do with BTS and being bored with BTS. This has more to do with, like, he's now thinking about, like, what he wants for the rest of his life. You know, I think he's, like, in his mid-30s. I don't know how old he is. But I think he's thinking about what he wants to do. And it doesn't feel like family planning, but it's, like, adjacent to that. Not necessarily that, but it seems sort of like when you start to hit older milestones and it's like, okay, like what should I be doing now? Not necessarily like what's after BTS, but what's beside it. This can't be my whole life forever. Like what else do I want? And I think he's kind of going through a little bit of like, I wouldn't say a crisis, but like, I think he's like kind of reviewing his life. Kind of like a quarter life crisis, but not quite. Not as intense as that. He's just kind of like, well, what now? What do we do now? Like, who else am I outside of BTS? Kind of cool. Love that for him. He doesn't seem all that one way or another. He's just like very reflective, I'll say. And the last homeboy I said was Jhope, which was the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is money. It's slow and steady. It's working at something. It can be reliable. Queen of Wands in the reverse position is fiery energy, usually feminine energy, but it's being like disempowered or doused in some way. Like you're not able to shine the way you want to. It also could be a woman in his life that is causing kind of like friction. The Nine of Wands in the reverse position is like poor boundaries, usually. Or like to in some way. It could be like over boundaried or like under. Page of Cups. That's emotion. Lucky, creative, young, youthful. He has there's a woman around him, for sure. That's interesting. Uh-oh. The Nine of Pentacles in the upright is like sometimes like a caged bird, but it's also like a fancy lady around him. I see a woman around Jhope for some reason. I can't claim if it's in a romantic nature. It could be his mom, literally. But it seems like there's a woman around him. And it seems like someone... Okay, maybe I shouldn't have used his mom. Because it seems like a person who is not good for him for some reason. One way or another. It seems like... I don't know. But I don't want to say that this woman is bad inherently. It's almost like what their dynamic isn't good. Like it slows him down and distracts him, and it's almost kind of illusionary. Almost like this is a weird example, but in my mind, I see like her spraying on perfume, and then it makes him go like kind of hypnotic, so he's like not locked in on anything. That's what's going on. Almost like it takes away from what else he's supposed to be doing, but their dynamic is not like healthy. Ace of Cups in the reverse position. Oh, like his emotions are somewhere else. Their dynamic I don't like. The Tower in the reverse position, the need for a change, but not changing. Do people know if he's dating or not? It kind of feels romantic, but it could just be a close relationship. because we haven't necessarily gotten romantic cards, but it feels like there's this intimacy there that's like toxic for some reason. And the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles in the reverse position, he seems separate from the other members as well. Like, he's not like that locked in on work or whatever BTS is doing or whatever is happening at HYBE. He seems really focused on it, like something else. This doesn't necessarily mean separate in the sense that they're fighting. Almost like when all the guys are like doing whatever, he's like, oh, like I'm busy. And he's like doing something else. But it seems like there's if not a woman, there's feminine energy around him. But like in my mind, I see like him and then a figure next to him. I don't know what that's about, but whatever it is, I hope the energy changes soon, because it feels like, not like it's awful now, but if you follow this path long enough, it'll get like real toxic, and I don't like it. Not even because like I'm like, they shouldn't date, but it's just like they're not like a good pairing. If it's like his friend, for example, it's like, you need new friends, homie, like I don't know what this is. It's interesting, but he seems like really like lost and like locked in. Queen of Cups again is like, the reverse is like emotionally unstable woman. In this case, she doesn't feel emotionally unstable. She feels kind of like she can like play him almost. I don't know if she's intentionally trying to be toxic, or it's like just when they're together. You know, sometimes people are just like, you guys, you're great people separately, but together this is weird. Anyway, but he seems not like with the other members. He seems separate. Like they're all like playing like football, for example, and he's like on his own. He's like in the bleachers with this girl, like, hey girl. Well, okay, let's ask about all of the members. Yes. Let's ask about BTS as a whole and plans for the future, and maybe also get information about HYBE. Okay, BTS. This is stability, family. Sometimes celebration as well. Burden, releasing of burdens. This is kind of like unstable in some way. It was gonna be like stingy or like overly clingy or like too loose, one way or another. Usually with something physical, but not always. Death, rebirth. Okay, work. Judgment in the reverse position is like not awakening to something, or ignoring something sometimes, especially if it's quite big. Page of Swords in the reverse position. I feel like they're working on their album. I think they're actually quite satisfied with whatever music they're creating, whatever they're doing. I don't think they're quite done yet, but they're very close. I think they're really satisfied. I think there's going to be a change. I think it'll be kind of consistently BTS, but they're going to like pursue a new sound maybe, or a new look. There's something about it. There's something new that's going to happen. It also can kind of be like a reflection of years past, but I really feel like there's going to be something different about this comeback in one way or another. It also could be the way it's rolled out. I'm not sure. I'm not the most familiar with BTS as they go. I like a lot of their songs, but I'm not super familiar to like tell you like what the new. Anyway, Judgment is like a lack of awakening though, in the Page of Swords, which I'm kind of interested about. But it seems like as a group they are mostly fine. You know what I mean? Like I don't sense a lot, at least currently, like I don't sense a lot of like animosity or like stress or like frustration. Justice in the reverse position, that's like a lack of justice. Again, this is a grief, focusing on what went wrong. Ace of Pentacles is like the start of something new. It's also a reward of some sort. And honestly, okay, this is a little bit weird. This energy feels faint, but honestly the Justice is like an injustice is happening. You also, I don't know if you're that familiar with tarot, but the Justice and the Emperor look very similar. They mean very different things, but like visually the cards look really similar. Emperor's power, whatever. Anyway, and this is like grief, focusing on what went wrong, you know, kind of looking at spilled milk and crying about it. But it's interesting because this is like offering. This is like pentacles. It's like money. It's like here. I feel like they're being silenced for some reason about something. It doesn't seem like something like if they got mistreated themselves and they're being like punished and like, you know, like, don't say anything. It doesn't feel like that. But it seems like something that isn't necessarily covered under their contract that they wouldn't be penalized legally for if they talked about it, but it's almost like there's a bribe or an incentive for them not to bring something up. I don't think this would affect them. It would affect their company or something, or would like give a hint as to what's going on. I think a lot of the members kind of do want to talk about it, or at least want some sort of outside guidance. It might not be with their fans per se, but it could be with like, I don't know if they wanted to like consult with a lawyer, for example, but like, you know, it's BTS, so like I'm sure any sort of information would like leak if anyone figured it out. But it seems like they're being like incentivized not to say something. This seems like an injustice, but I can't really tell if it's an injustice with them or that it's something they know about or like involving a different group. I really can't tell, but that's what it feels like, but it's very faint. This is contemplation. King of Pentacles is like powerful. Usually it's like CEO type. And the King of Cups in the reverse position, which is like emotional instability or almost not taking somebody's emotions into account. So like a lack of empathy. That's really interesting. And this is contemplation. I do feel like HYBE is doing something dirty. I feel like financially there's something weird, but this isn't really wanting me to focus on that. It feels like there's something that is like not right. Like they're doing something unfair with other groups. And I don't know if that's like internally with other HYBE groups or if it's with other competition, but there's something weird about that. And I'm really focused on like younger groups or different groups or new groups. There's something about that, and HYBE is like doing something. Maybe it's like a monopolization, so they're like trying to suppress other groups and like boost their own groups. Because you have to kind of, I like most of the music that comes out of HYBE, I'll say, and I really like their groups, but, and I can't tell why this is, if there's like a gamification going on with HYBE, but I see HYBE as like, you know those like machines in construction where they like flatten the ground? Not like a steamroller, but like, maybe I'll put up a picture because I don't know what they're called. I see HYBE doing that. And it's almost like they're in a forest and they're just kind of like fucking up all the trees. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. I guess it has something to do with the ecosystem of K-pop or music at large. And there's something funny about that. And BTS knows about it. I'm not sure. It's weird. And it's not wanting me to focus on music. It's wanting me to focus on feelings and empathy. Or like kindness or like fairness in some way. That sort of domain and realm. But there is something kind of weird about the money. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like illegal or like just unethical. I really don't know. I don't know a lot about money in general. Okay, 9 of Cups, that's fulfillment. 6, I have to count every time. 6 of Swords in the reverse position, which is like not moving forward, being stuck somewhere, not transitioning, but like needing to. And the Lovers is like lovers, unionship, compassion, but there's a snake right there. There's a snake in the water. Something that's very enticing and like not moving away from it. That's really interesting. But, and you know what's funny is like this guy right here, if you like lay out all of the tarot cards, almost everybody who is facing forward, like literally like sitting facing us, are like the Emperor and like the Justice card. These are people who have like real authority in tarot. This is more of like one of the mundane cards, so it's not a major arcana like the Lovers, you know what I mean? And so this is someone, sometimes can indicate someone with like false power, or is like trying to have like a bigger bravado than they do, and they're really like, you're just like a random guy, like why are you trying to tell me what to do? That's sometimes what this can be. So it's sort of like what's the word, kind of like a facade. So it's like, look at all of this, and it's like, motherfucker, it's just cups, they're not even special, everyone has a cup. Sorry, it can legitimately talk about fulfillment though, but sometimes it's like almost like false authority. It's interesting, and this is like enticement, almost like, wow, like come over here, be distracted, but there's something you need to move away from. It's weird, but again, this is very faint, and I don't know why none of this is really strong. So either it's far away, it could change at any moment, or there's something that is being heavily suppressed. So it's like, don't look at it, look over here, look at the music. It's weird. There's something shady, but it doesn't feel dangerous shady. It just feels like unethical. It feels like unmoral. It's like, oh, that's mean. And also maybe is illegal, or is gonna tilt into illegality at some point. It's really weird. None of this is really about BTS. I think they either know about it, have suspicions about it, or are going to be wrangled into it, or it involves them, but isn't really like centric to them. The cards adamantly want me to talk about this. They're like, comeback's gonna come and go, girl. Should we ask specifically about their comeback? Because this is all about like HYBE. But there is something happening. I don't know if information will come out or if it's going to take a long time, because it seems like there's a lot happening. There is a lot happening though. The Star, this is like the star, you know, celebrity. It also can be vulnerability and honesty. This is a bad leader, or sometimes like going in the wrong direction in terms of leadership. I guess, didn't the guy, I said his assets were frozen, right? Like a little bit ago. Who's leading HYBE right now? Anyway, 2 of Pentacles is like the ebbs and flows and the balance. Oh, I really like that. whatever currently, because energy can change, it seems like HYBE is going to go through, like, I see, like, rubble or, like, rumbling. So something's going to happen at HYBE, but it's going to produce something that is more authentic and something that is more sustainable and something that is more honest. Something about HYBE, maybe they're, like, lying to their shareholders, I don't know, but there's something about they're being unethical and unfair. And it's like mean, because this is like an emotional card, so there's something really emotional. Money is tied up because we keep getting sprinkles of money, but it's very much like, that's just not nice. That's the energy it's giving. Okay, wait, no. I want to ask about their comeback, because I can't get precise information on what's going on, which is quite interesting. Okay, let's ask specifically about their comeback. I feel like the cards are like, girl, that's not what you're supposed to be focused on, but I'm nosy. Let's ask any information if it'll be successful. BTS's comeback. There's those swords. It's like not saying what you want to say, or sometimes saying it imprecisely, or it's also sometimes being misunderstood. But it's also the beginning or not beginning a new idea or communicating something. But it's like the start of something new. But in this case, it's trying to get me more to focus on the communication aspect of it and not going their way. It also could be like communication with the rollout of the new comeback. We've gotten this card like every single time. This is like instability. And it's always been in the reverse position, which is also quite funny. There's something unstable about BTS, maybe about HYBE. It could also be their comeback, something that is ungrounded. It also sometimes can talk about money as well, and like it not earning enough money. But I feel like we'd get other cards for that. There's something about this. I'm really locked in on it being unstable. I don't know what that means. Page of Swords is focused, again, that's swords. And this is like talking young. Sometimes it can come off immature, but don't think of immature in a negative way in this sense. More just like childlike, playful, dreamy almost. 5, 8. I feel like there's going to be some issues around a lyric people don't like. Or they're going to look into it, or there's going to be some sort of something about it. I don't know. Or something someone says and that's going to get overblown. I feel that coming. I don't know why. Anyway, 8 of Pentacles in the reverse position. That's beating on something. Not working at something. Something's not working. It also is money again. Money again. Giving and taking. And money again. Pentacles all over the place. That's so interesting. If we focus just on the Pentacle cards, and swords, that's weird. Okay, if we focus just on the Pentacle cards, this is unstable. This is working at the wrong thing. This is giving, charity. Sometimes it can also be, it's also like asking and like receiving. And this is balance, trying to balance, I should say, the ebbs and flows. It also can talk about infinity and creation. I feel like I don't think the members are fighting, but I think there's a split. I actually don't think this involves the members at all. I think this is maybe I think the members are involved in what they create, but there's also like creative directors and producers I'm sure they bring in, and like a whole host of people that work on BTS's comebacks. It's almost like there's a divided camp on like a message or the sound. There's something about it. It's specifically related to the way something is conveyed, and almost like people are not sold on it and they're like worried. I feel like someone is trying to do something really like what's the word? Edgy, risky, artistically risky. And it's sort of like some people I think are worried how it might sound maybe politically, or how it might land with the fans or the broader public, and they're worried it's gonna like mess with their money. There's something about that. Like, let's say, I don't know, like BTS was suddenly like free Palestine, right? And a lot of people in the world find that to be like a really egregious statement. A free Palestine, absolutely, 100%. Let's say BTS wants to put that in their song, and it's like some people are like, no, like that's gonna get us canceled, dog, and other people are like, yes. I don't think it's that, but there's something. It could be like kind of a sexual lyric or a sexual reference. I don't know what it is, but there's something that like people are currently fighting on right now, and it would really like mess with their money. It could mess with brands or sponsorships or just like the support of BTS. It's weird because they really want me to focus on the message, and that is there's a concern about money or stability of BTS, which is interesting. Are they? I don't know if they're like that easy to cancel. I really don't know. I don't know how fickle their fan base is. Well, actually, you know, they're really angry at Jungkook right now. They're very angry at Jungkook right now. So I feel like BTS's fan base is very volatile. Lovingly, respectfully. That's odd though. It's like hella money. Okay, anyway. Knight of Cups in the reverse position. Emotional. Kind of like not knowing how to move forward emotionally, or hesitant to do it. Hesitant to lead with emotion as well. The Hanged Man is a new perspective, and the Emperor's disempowerment. There's a disagreement on this album, heavily. it feels like the members are sidelined in this part. I think they're a part of it, but this is the disagreement is like, let's say there are two producers and they're on like opposite ends, and there's like a stalemate that is happening, and it seems about something really critical. It's not like just like you want to play a C note and I want to play a B note. It's not that. It's like something kind of critical. They're at a stalemate about it. It seems like an actual like significant thing. I can't tell if it's like one tiny thing that is important or if it's like legitimately like the whole way the album is presented and looks. It's weird. It's almost like they're being frozen right now though. So it's like they can't move forward with maybe choreography, for example, or they can't like figure out the wardrobe until they figure out this like thing. It's interesting. I don't know. The BTS, in my mind, I see like two people like going back and forth. It's not like arguing in an angry way, but it's very much like, I'm not going to compromise. Well, I'm not going to compromise. And BTS are just kind of in the corner, like looking at each other like, are we going to like... But the other thing too, it feels creative, but it also feels just like structural. And like whoever is making decisions in general, it's really interesting. And this is like disempowerment. Whatever it is, I really feel like BTS, if it's not the full album, there's something that is going to be... I think it won't be so new that it like alienates fans, but there's going to be either a song or a lyric or a way they're dressed or something they're doing that is like really like, oh, okay. So we haven't seen that before. I think they're going to try to tickle, that's a weird word. They're going to try to, I'll use it, like tickle the fandom's nostalgia though. I really feel like they're going to like do like a BTS through the years or something like that. They're gonna try to like get the nostalgia, but there's something that is controversial for some reason that's people are arguing about currently. Anyway, disharmony in home. The devil is releasing something toxic, and the King of Wands is a creative person that is kind of specifically masculine energy, I should say, who is like unhappy or like erratic in some way. But again, that seems like what I've been talking about, where like there's disagreements. I feel like they're gonna go the safer route, which is great. Because I don't know what the fuck this could be, but it seems like whatever it is, there's a risk people will like boycott BTS. I don't know. But it seems like right now they're erring on going the safer route. But it's sort of like, if this hits, that'll be massive for BTS. Like they'll invent like a new genre. I don't know if that's what it is, but that's what it feels like. It seems like there's a lot of pressure on this decision. It's weird. Okay, how are the fans gonna react? This has been forever. How are... BTS's fans going to react to the album and the comeback at large? How are people going to react to the comeback? Ay, Dios mío. Knight of Swords again, which is like rushing, you're in the reverse position, kind of misunderstanding something, mishearing it, misinterpreting it. Almost like you say something to somebody and it's almost like their fingers are in their ears, and then once you stop talking, they remove their fingers and say something to you, but now you're not listening to them. It's kind of like you guys are on two different pages. Temperance, a lack of balance. There could be arguments about one member not being featured enough or overly featured, or like there's too much prominence. I don't know. But that seems like, I don't know if BTS specifically has a history of that or not. I don't know. And this is like fighting. There's going to be, oh, I understand. There's going to be a lot of fighting in the fandom. For sure. There's going to be infight. Oh, I don't know for sure, girl. I don't know. It feels like there's going to be a lot of infighting in the fandom. The fandom's going to like fragment. I don't know if BTS already struggles with solo stands, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels like some people are going to get it and like it and some people aren't. Or there's going to be conversation about controversy, and some people are going to be like, no, this is completely fine, and some people are like, this is insane, like how can you say that? It's giving kind of like Republican versus Democrat about something, but not that like political. Well, maybe it is, but I don't know. But it's something about it. It's gonna put people at opposite ends. It'll create a lot of movement around BTS, which is good. It'll create a lot of conversation, which I think is good. That's interesting. Some people are gonna love this album, and some people are gonna be like, what? They haven't finished it yet, so this could change though. I can't tell if this is good or bad. Like, I really can't tell if it's good that people are kind of like divisive in the fandom. And I can't tell if that'll even affect their money or not. But there's something about like, should we rock the boat or not? The Tower is again like kind of choosing the safer route, dodging a bullet, something you need to change but not. This is getting over grief, and the Queen of Swords. Whatever it is, it's a communication of some sort. some sort of lyric or something they said or something they inferred. And the Queen of Swords, I do feel like if you're a BTS fan, I kind of feel like you're gonna love it or love a song, and then some people are gonna be like, what the hell was this? But it feels more, not necessarily like it didn't sound good, but it didn't like make sense, or like there was something weird about it or something controversial. It's weird. I'm excited now. This seems interesting. I do think the members have worked hard on it. I do. I think the members are liking what they're doing as well. It doesn't seem like they're really all that fighting that much. I don't also feel like the members see each other that often, I'll say. They don't seem locked in and like really close-knit, like they're eating meals together. They just seem like, you're like, hey bro, what's up dog? It's like, well, love that for them. With peace and love.